Oh, hello there. Welcome back to Crafters TV. My name's Joe. I don't know about you, but I have got that Friday feeling today. We've all got it here, you know, in the studio. We have. And it's the last Friday feeling we're going to have because as of Monday, we're going live twice a day, 7 days a week, which is fantastic. So really, really excited for that. We've got a really great show coming your way. Don't forget, make sure you get involved. We're going to be monitoring the conversation on Facebook and YouTube today. Oh, I know. I'll tell you more about that as we go through the show. Don't forget about the download as well. There's always a free download every single Friday. Colour Me Happy. So go to www.crafterscompanion.co.uk/colour-me-happy. There you go. And also, this is that one show of the week where we really, really love it when you get interactive with us. So please send us all of your photos. studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk. studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk. Send us in your pictures. Colour along. Let us know what you're up to. We absolutely love that. Now, I'm not here. I've got two special guests today. But my first one is the lovely Craig Laird. Craig, so glad to have you back for what, your first Colour Me Happy?
It is indeed. It is so good to be here for absolutely my very first Colour Me Happy. And absolutely, it's Friday. We're all in the Friday feeling, that is for sure. What a couple of hours we've got planned. A lot of you are also joining in because I've been starting off on the colouring journey over the last, well, it's kind of like 14 weeks now, when we started with the tri-blends onto your classic pens. But today we're going to be focusing on our ink pads, but a specific selection of our ink pads. So we will tell you more about that just coming up very shortly, but it's going to be fun.
Oh, it's going to be fun. You mark my words, we're going to have a fun couple of hours because I am not alone. You got double trouble today here in the Crafters TV studio because Derek's back. Derek, how are you? I love that we're over here together, but sort of social distance as well.
New dream
at the same time. Absolutely.
It's so good to be here.
Like
Morning,
Hinge and
everyone.
Bracket does shopping TV.
Oh, it's going to be brilliant. We're just going to sit back and watch the magic happen and chat to you all morning.
Absolutely.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so your first day on air, well, probably. Obviously, you were here last night.
Yeah, popped in briefly for like 10 seconds yesterday in the busiest cartload I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And that was it, in, out.
It was a bit of a manic, it was a bit of a hot mess last night.
Yeah.
There was a lot of deals. It was great. We filmed a promo as well yesterday, didn't we? So that'll be going out today.
Yes.
And also, tell us about that giveaway over on your page.
Oh, yeah. Come and find me right now, Derek Marks Crafter's Companion. And I've got a giveaway. I've got a hamper of goodies. I had a good old rummage around without Sarah knowing a thing. Got lots of crafty goodies. And all you need to do is go to my Facebook page, which is Derek Marks Crafter's Companion. Go in there, comment. I think I'm asking you a question, which is your favourite show on Crafters TV, which is an impossible question.
Of course.
Impossible question.
Loads of people answers have got like 3 or 4 in there. Like people just name the whole schedule is what's happened. There it is.
There's my hamper of goodies that you could win, and I'll be picking a winner on Monday Makers on Monday afternoon at 4 o'clock, which is, remind me, 4 p.m. is...
The UK is a... Oh, do you want me to show you? Hang on, should we consult the clocks, Derek?
I need this
So
help.
let me give you a bit of a guide round. So if we consult the clock. So this one, I need a pointer. I haven't got one. So the top one is the time now. This is West Coast, Derek. So 3:05 in the morning. Right. Surprisingly, we do have people up this early joining us at 3:05 in the morning. Good morning to you. Middle one is the East Coast. And then the one on the right there, Central European time. So if you get stuck, you'll know. So 11 a.m. is 6 a.m. on the East Coast.
The only thing I need now is a map of America and where all the states are as to whether you're east or west.
The ones that you'll get confused with are Iowa, Ohio and Idaho. Try saying them quickly. Yeah.
No. I'll get to grips with it.
Right, so you're going to do YouTube, is that right?
Yes, I'm on YouTube right now, so come and say hello. Would love to hear from you. In fact, there's loads and loads of people logged in already, so yes.
Absolutely.
I'm Mr. YouTube.
You are Mr. YouTube, I'm Mr. Facebook. We get loads of pictures in the show as well, which is wonderful. We love seeing everyone colouring along. Little Buddy told me you're going to do some colouring along as well.
Yeah, I am. I want to get involved. Of course.
What do you fancy? Should we get you the tri-blends?
That's a good idea.
Because they're great. They're a great starting point.
And we'll see if we can print off one of the downloads.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll get that.
And
Should we get Craig to stamp you something out, maybe?
That'd be good.
Maybe you could do that
and
for
I'll
us
have a little
as well.
play.
Yeah, I think so. Right, should we crack on then and whiz through these deals? You want to see what's coming up on the show today? Right, we're going to start off with the ink pads. Now, it's a 6-piece collection that you've got. These are some of the colours that you're going to get included in here. The actual 6-piece you've got, this is board is just to represent what these do for you. They're basically a ink pad that's got a microfine mica in there, which is fantastic. The colours you're going to get in here, you're going to get the blush, the bronze, the amethyst, the jade, the pink lace, and the rose. It is a 6-piece collection that you've got there. Great value on this as well, which is fantastic. £24 if you're in the UK, $38 if you are over in the US as well. So they are going to be, I think, the star of the show this Friday morning. So details there on your screen. Very busy for those already. Now, how much has gone? 5% already. We've only been live a few minutes. What's going on? Right, the other thing we've got for you is metallic markers. Now, these are always brilliant. It's a 3-pack that you're getting in here of your metallic markers, and this is great because this is the one that you will wait for. This is that buy 2 get 1 free deal that we've got on here. All of your metallic inks will work and play nicely together, which is fantastic as well. So in here you've got your rare minerals, which has got your pink quartz, your red garnet, your green citrine, your jade green, blue topaz and amethyst. Precious metals has gold plate, gold nugget, burnished copper. You've got antique bronze, pewter and silver ingot. And then finally you've got your antique elements here, which is your antique pearl, your vintage satin, tarnished silver, rose gold, aged copper and your ancient bronze as well. Great to get those while they're on a buy 2 get 1 free offer, which is fantastic. So don't miss out on those. Right, we've also got some inks for you as well. Now the inks, it's a duo that you're getting here in the ink. So the first one in the duo, you're going to get the vintage and you're going to get the metallics as well. So you're going to get the vintage metallics, which is that one just there, as you can see, and that one's going to give you your antique bronze, aged copper, tarnished silver and your burnished copper, and you're going to get the other metallics as well. So you're getting all the metallics here: rich metallics, gold plate, silver ingot, ancient bronze and your pewter as well, which is fantastic. There is another option. It's available individually for you. You've got a great deal on that. You're saving £20.48 or $32.90 if you're in the US. You've got another one as well, which is the antique florals. Now this one, the reason we couldn't do a bundle of all 3 is because we don't have anywhere near as many of the antique florals as we have of the other 2. If you want these ones, you'll have to be quick. I'm pretty sure that Craig will agree with me as well when I say that the pots are great because they represent the most amount of ink in there, which is amazing. But also what's great about them is there's so many techniques you can do. And Craig's going to take us through all of these techniques. Now, if you want to be able to do the techniques for any of the 3 different colouring mediums that we have, then we've got this here for you. Now, it's the metallic ink pads technique kit, which is fantastic. Now, in the ink pads technique kit, you're going to get 2 clear acrylic stamps. You're going to get a stencil, 2 stencils in fact, some rubber stamps, and also an embossing folder as well. All of this designed and put together by Craig and the team to allow you to get the most amazing results from your ink pads. Now, for the metallic markers, we also have a technique kit there. You've got a rubber stamp, you've got layering stencils in here, there's some acrylic stamps, you've got rubber stamps, and you've also got a die in there as well. Great value on that one to be able to do a load of really great techniques. Now, we've also got a stencil collection for you. Now, remember, our stencils are great quality, and that means that if you want to, you can even run these through your machine as embossing folders, such as the quality that you've got with those ones there. £10, shut the front door and call me Mary. £10 to get 3 of those. That's fantastic value for money. Right, loads of people tuning in and saying hello already. I can see Debbie is obviously tuning in, Derek, to see for a recce for Monday, because Debbie, what am I like Robinson, I can see is watching the show right now, because you're with Debbie, aren't you, on Monday night?
Yeah, Monday afternoon. Yeah, it's going to be a good one. Can't wait, Debbie.
Yes, it is, Debbie. I'm going to get him primed and ready for you, Debbie. So don't you worry about that. But loads of people tuning in this morning from all over. I see Ray's here. Good morning, Sarah. We've got people watching in Australia and Singapore. Hi, Derek. Loads of people are saying over on Facebook. Sophie says you can tell Joe's well excited for his holiday. How did you guess?
So ready. It's a wonder you're still here and you haven't phoned in this morning. You know that sick voice where you go, I can't come in today. Sore throat.
When I didn't know Derek was going to be here today, I did think, I wonder if I could. I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't do a thing like that. I wouldn't. How is it over on YouTube this morning?
Very busy. Morning, everyone. Morning from Tampa, says Deborah. Bonnie's watching in Texas. Denise is there. I saw there's people watching everywhere. It's Maryland, isn't it?
Maryland,
not
Maryland.
Not Maryland.
Or you'll also notice the sun never really shines up here, Derek. Is what I've found out. You definitely move here for the people, not the weather. That's what
absolutely.
I say. But also you've got places like Sunderland, is what our American viewers think it's called. Yeah, so it's a learning curve, learning all of the names for sure.
I'll get to grips with it. We've got who's watching in West Yorkshire as well, and it's Brighter Elizabeth, who says, I'm in Brighter, West Yorkshire.
Brighter? Is there a place called Brighter?
No, it's just Brighter, as in it's not grey today.
We had a very funny show last week talking about funny place names. Maybe we'll touch on that a little bit later. And Fish and Chip Shop with funny names as well. Winking Willie's in Scarborough was top of the list. Right, without further ado, I think it's time we cracked on before we get ourselves in any more trouble. And so I think, Craig, are you ready? Are you ready to go over there?
Absolutely, I'm ready to go. And please, I think we've had enough funny towns to last us quite a wee while. Don't get us started again. Not on a Friday anyway. Maybe leave that to... Actually, there's a good one for Monday with Derek and Debbie. Debbie will be just in stitches if you were to do that on Monday. So let's do that. Right, okay, doke. So let's get started. So what we're going to do is, of course, we're going to incorporate the Midas metallic ink pads. So with these ones, of course, you can, of course, stamp with them, but you can do all your different techniques. You can still do all of your water reactive techniques, all your blending, all your spritzing. They're a pigment ink pad, so if you're familiar with our pigment ink pad range of all the colours, you can still do all your heat embossing, and in actual fact we are going to be embossing in quite a few of them. You can still run them through your embossing folders, so you really can go all out with them. A lot of different ink pads that are out there that are metallic, or say they're metallic, you're very limited in what you can do, because some of them could be quite a quick drying. Well, these, you've got that ability to do so much more. So what I done the other day is I prepped for the show, and do you know what I really did do? I was saying to Derek and Joe earlier on, is I just sat and I had a play, and I just had to play with different things that we could do, maybe some that you've not seen before, some that you'll maybe seen that you just want to have a reminder of what we could do. So let's do that. So I'm going to bring in our 3D embossing folder. So
Great.
With
these metallic inks, now there's loads of different metallic inks I've got. Well, we're giving you 3 different ways here of using them. Do you think there's value in having all of them? Will there be crafters out of there that own the pens, the pots and the pads with these?
Absolutely, and it's one of those things, it's kind of like the more you have, obviously the more scope that it gives you, and the fact of, you've got your ink pad that do a certain range of things. There's specific things that you could do with your little bottles of ink that you maybe necessarily can't do or find it a bit more difficult to do with ink pads. When it comes to ink pads and your pots, then if you want to get colouring in with your fine details, and obviously your pens would be better. Doesn't mean to say that you can't get into fine detail with your pots with a nice fine brush, but it's just what you find is easiest for you. But of course, if you've got kind of like all 3, the pens, the pots and the pads, hey, that's good. The pens, the pots and the pads, hey, that's a good one. If you've
pots
got
and pads.
Yeah, if you've got all 3, then it really is, it just opens up that scope of all the different things that you can do. So what we're going to do first is the embossing folder I have taken, which is the Regency Swirl. I've also taken from the stamp set the old frames, no it's not, old friends, and then what we've done from the embossing folders, or the embossing stencils from Saracens Enchanted Christmas, it is the Forest Vine. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of incorporate all of these together. So first and foremost, what we're going to do is we're actually just going to run a bit of black card through the embossing folder. Now, when it comes to the metallic ink pads, you can of course use them on white. However, they really do just stand out and pop and work best if you use them on a dark cardstock. Now, that's not always something that you'll hear us say, but the darker the cardstock, the more effective that the ink pads are.
What sort of surfaces can we use these on, Craig? Because I'm guessing that the formulation for all of these is exactly the same as for the different inks. Is that right? And also, what can we put them on? Because I know obviously you think about using them on card. Can we use them on things like acetate, vellum, glass? What else will these go on?
Absolutely. So whatever you like to do with your normal Harmony ink pads, then of course you can do with these ones. So if you're using them onto acetate or things like that, obviously I would still say use a clear embossing powder or a coloured embossing powder, because it will smudge that slightly, but it's nothing stopping you from using them on obviously your cardstocks. And as I say, you can ink with them, you can blend with them, blend two shades together, which is actually what we're going to do. We're going to do it onto the 3D embossed layers that we've just done as well. So really just go out and experiment. You know, there's very little that you can't actually do with these, the way that Leanne and the team have had them made and formulated. So what we're going to do now is let's open this one. So if I tip that one forward, and then hopefully we're going to see that emboss. So this side is actually the deboss side. So I'm trying to just, you'll see it a bit more once we actually put the inks over the top. So I'm just trying to get that to go through. There you go. But you'll see it, just see it just there. There we go. There it is there. So that is your 3D. So that's got your multi-layered 3D embossing. And with this one, I'm using the deboss side. So we're just going to pop that one to the side at the moment. Then what I'm going to do is I've got a selection of the Midas ink pads that we've got on the show today. So what I'm going to do...
Christine wants to know how Brenda is, Craig. She's a bit concerned she's not going to get any action today.
Brenda, she's not getting... Well, she's
maybe later. Maybe in Craft House we'll see Brenda.
Maybe in Craft House, because don't forget, obviously we're here all day on Craft House as well. But as it's planned at the moment, we won't be using Brenda. Brenda's getting a good Friday morning break. She's going in holiday mode, just like Joe.
Ah, fantastic. That's
yeah.
Good. Good old Brenda.
Good old Brenda. So we're going to bring in the blush. We're going to bring in the rose satin. We're also going to bring in the platinum, which is there. Do you know what? I thought it would be neat and tidy having them all stacked up on my wee trays, and then I'll just hold them out. Then we're going to also go for the bronze. So we're going to bring in 4 of them. And then what I'm going to do is, I know the bronze one will sit to the side because we're actually going to use that later on for actually stenciling over. So let's bring in our blending tools. So you can use the circles or the squares, but you know, I do now prefer the squares. So what I'm just going to do is just take the lids off and just have them all ready. Nothing different than what you would do with your other ink pads that you've got from Spectrum Noir. So I just like to have a what was it we called it the other day? A dauber blending tool. Yeah. Daubers, blending tools. A few different names, wasn't there?
Call them what you want, they don't care.
Anything that you so wish. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to pick up some colour. So I know you can't quite see it there, but if you've not seen me explain it before, what I do is I put my ink pad just up against the edge of the glass mat, so that stops it from going all over the place. So what I'm just doing is I'm just coating up my tool just with some of the ink, and then I'm just going to blend over the top, just like I do with any of other ink pads. And I say blending, I'm really just going straight over the top. You're going to see straight away how that looks. So what I'm just doing, I'm going to do this corner just to start with, and then this is just going to show you.
Sandra wants to know if I've got my Speedos packed, Craig.
Yeah, funny enough.
Always, I've got them in my bag. I've always got my Speedos with them in my bag right now. You know, you never know when you'll need them in Costa del Cliff.
Yeah, you never do know, that's for sure. Can't say I've been in a position where I thought I would need them. Not that I would, but. So what I've just done,
he said, Craig, and they say, does Craig wash them for you? They've not had an outing since I've moved here. It'd be good to know. Craig, for anyone that's thinking, well, that's really weird. Why is Craig washing Joe's Speedo? I don't own a Speedo. I feel like you've really put me on the spot here now. I don't own a Speedo. And no, Craig, the washing machine at the house hasn't been working. So Craig has been doing my washing for me very graciously. I did start off doing his shopping for him at the start of lockdown, but he doesn't need me anymore, basically. But I still need him to do my washing. Have you got a Speedo, Derek?
No.
No? Okay. Just, I mean, because I know that was the next question that Sandra was going to ask.
It looks like, with this shirt on, it looks like I probably should.
Probably could. I can see maybe open shirt, cocktail in one hand at a glitzy pool party. Strike me as
I think I'd need a strimmer first, though.
A strimmer?
Too much information?
TMI.
Probably
TMI indeed. Anyway, back to you, Craig. Sorry, we'll hijack your demo here.
It's 11:20 on a Friday morning, and already. We've got all day to go. Anyway, so what I've just done is I just started to blend some ink just in that corner there. I'm just randomly just going to go over the black cardstock. So again, just like I have been, is I'm just blending that colour on. I'm just really coating that colour on the top. And then let's go for the blush. And then let's just go right into the middle. And I'm just coating up that cardstock. Just like that. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the rose satin and let's just start to just blend those two in together. You don't actually need to blend the colours much together because actually they sit just well, so just perfectly together. But if I show you that, so if I tip that forward, so that is on obviously the embossed folder. However, this is the debossed side that I'm using. So what that just means is, if you're new to it, is all the embossed areas are actually sunken into the card, and then obviously all the background layers are actually sitting prominent on the top. So it just picks up all that detail as well that's sitting on the top. Then what I'm going to do is let's go back and then let's add some of the platinum. And let's just coat our blending tool.
Nicole's watching us for the very first time, Craig. She said, oh my, I've just found you. How often are you here? How often do you do these shows? We are here with you now, as of Monday, every single day at 11 a.m. and 4 p.m, which is fantastic. So you can join us 11 a.m, 4 p.m in the UK every day, which is what, 6 a.m. and 11 a.m. On the East Coast every single day. What I would say as well, you're watching this for the first time, maybe you've not got your alarm set. In the bottom of this Facebook Live, there's a little bell symbol. You can tap that and it will notify you every single time that we go live. So make sure you do that so you never need miss any of our shows. If you do miss any, they all live online over on our website as well, crafterscompanion.co.uk.com or .eu. So go over there if you need any. 10% of the ink pads has already gone. It's very, very busy. With these, Craig, if we wanted to, and this is a lovely blending technique you're doing, can you sort of put the ink down somewhere and then pick it up with these ones?
So if I set that one to the side at the moment, I've got a wee bit of black card. I think I've got a spare bit just here. So yeah, what you can do, you might actually find it easier. I know Sarah does it on some of her shows, where what you can just do is using your glass mat, or you can do it on your heat-proof non-stick mat that we've got from Spectrum Noir. Just dab it on to your glass mat if you so want. And then all you're just going to do is you're just going to pick up the colour that way. So you can just pick up the colour from the glass mat and then just go straight over onto your cardstock. So it's actually whatever you feel comfortable doing. If you don't feel as though you're getting a good coverage by going straight to the ink pad, then try just popping it onto your glass mat, and then you'll find that you're still going to get, obviously now there it isn't, look at that. So you're getting that subtleness through it, but the more and more that you add on, the more and more intensity that it's going to get, you're going to get that metallic look coming through. And yes, as I said earlier, it does work with your white and you can get some great effects, but the darker the colour that you go, the more that it's just so striking.
How do these work on white cardstock? Because I know we use them a lot on darker cardstocks, don't we, Craig? Can you use them on lighter cardstocks too?
Of course you can, and we've actually, later on, most of my demos are on black cardstock or a darker cardstock, but I do have a couple where I'm going to do it on black, but then I'm also going to do it on white, just so that we can show you what it looks like. Specifically, one of the stencils coming up as well, it'll be on white. So stay tuned for that, and you're going to see the difference. So all that I'm going to do is not necessarily, but I've just got a bit of kitchen roll, it's just damp, and it's kind of like just giving it a wee bit of a buff really. And then even just straight away, you can see just in that section just there, you can see that there, but then if I just tilt that way, and I'm going to bend it and then roll it back and forwards, you can see how it's picked up all that detail on the top layer. And I just think that looks awesome with the ink pads. I just absolutely love them. Then what I'm going to do is, let's just chop a wee bit off. Now I'm going to be doing a demo later on where I focus on what I'm going to do next. So what I'm just going to do is just to show you as well that you might think, because you can't really do this with any kind of other metallic ink pads out there, but I'm just going to bring in our spritz tool. So these you'll find, if not in the show, on the website, and I've just filled up with water. So all of this excess on the mat, I'm just going to just spritz that with water.
I didn't know you could add water to these ones, Craig.
Absolutely you can do, and the effect can look gorgeous because it's a real marble effect on that black card. So again, if I tip that, so obviously it's still damp, but as it dries, you're going to get, I'm going to try and lift it a bit higher, and there, can you see that sort of marble effect? Now it's a lot more intense, up close and personal, and then once you've dried it, I'm not going to go over with the heat tool simply because I've got a demo very similar to this later on where we'll spend a wee bit more time, but it's just to show you that absolutely, instead of wasting that, now I've just taken that excess off, just wiped it off, you can then go on top again, and the more layers that you do with a different bit of cardstock, it gets a bit less and less and a bit more less subtle, but you know, you still get different effects. So then keep them, emboss them, die cut them, use them as your backgrounds. You can do all these different things with them as well. So let's just bring in a couple of layers that we've got just here. So let's bring in, before actually we'll layer it up with the cardstock, let's bring in, so the stamp. So we're bringing in the Old Friend stamp. So let's just take that one off. And then we're going to bring in my stamping platform. And then I've got a wee bit of black card as well. Now you would think I would go across, and let's just take, if I've got it here to hand, let's have a look. It's over there, so it doesn't matter.
What
but your clear, just your clear ink pads, you know, where you do your embossing, you would think that I would need to use that, but I don't. Because it's a pigment ink pad, it means that we can actually emboss straight over the top. So what I'm going to do is let's pop our stamp over the top. I'm just going to pop that just onto our stamping platform. And then what I'm going to do is let's take the bronze, because what I'm wanting, I'm going to stamp on a black card, and although I'm using clear embossing powder, that colour of the bronze is still going to shine through the clear embossing powder. So let's take our stamping mat, which I've got just here. So we've got that ready to go, and then we're just going to ink that up. So we're just going to ink our stamp up, just like so.
Sally's got back. I seem to be having a problem with Sally. I keep calling Sally Sandra and Susan, and she's not happy about it, Craig. She says, my name is Sally and not Sandra or Susan. You called me this the other day. I think you need a visit to Specsavers pronto, LOL. I think I do. I can't hear very well. I can't see very well. Sally, it's a wonder I make it here every single day. You would not believe the challenges that we have. Sarah saying, can already tell this is going to be a great show. 3 funny guys in the house. A lot of you welcoming Nicole as well, saying it's such a fun group. Sandra then does pop up and say, morning Joe, got a tad confused, just turned the TV and Sandra is asking about your Speedos. Quickly got the phone to message, it was Sally, I was not asking about your Speedos, says Sandra. So yeah, I probably got Sandra in a bit of trouble, so sorry for the confusion there.
I think that's going to be the theme of the show, isn't it now, Speedos? I'll let you talk about that, I won't. So what I've just done there is I've just taken some clear embossing powder, and then I'm just going to bring my heat tool. So what's going to happen, let's just get that kind of to temperature. So as that melts, you're still going to get that bronze colour coming through, but you're going to get that nice clear shimmer over the top because the clear embossing powder has melted. So let's just get rid of some of that. You would go over the top with an anti-static bag just to get rid of any of that excess, but let's just go over the top. So I'm just waiting until that melts, and then as that melts, we are then just going to move just until the rest is melted. So if we then finish off there. So if I was to do that on white card, then what I could come along with my sparkle inks, my blending ink pads, anything like that, and that'll create a resist effect. So now we've got that sentiment, it's nice and subtle in the background, and you can see it just there, and it also gives that shimmer with having that clear embossing powder, but you're still getting that ink coming through, the colour coming through. So don't just think that you just have to blend with them, you can do all these different things.
Can you blend with the pots and the pens, or is it just the pads really that are for the blending, Craig? That's Hannah asking that.
So can you blend, so the pens, we may be doing something along those lines just shortly, so stay tuned with that one. And what was the other one, sorry?
The pens and the pots, can you blend with the pens and the pots in the same way that you've done with the ink pads?
Yeah, you know, obviously more techniques with the pots and that are doing all your different resists, your backgrounds and that, but there's nothing stopping you from getting a nice blending effect just by popping some ink onto your glass mat or heat proof mat again, have a play, get a selection of the tools, or at least if you can get a couple, and then just get maybe a couple of packs of the refill foams, and then yeah, absolutely, just pop some ink onto your glass mat, heat-proof mat, whatever one that you've got, and then yes, just start to mix colours, blend colours together, and just have some fun.
Ah, fantastic. Really, really great. Lots of you tuning in, loving the demonstrations this morning as well. Yes, very, very busy. Can I just remind you, oh, shut the front door. 20% of the ink pads kits almost gone. So very, very busy there. I'm getting myself all in a tiver. I've got so many boards, got so many great products on the show today. That's what it is. So with the ink pads, this is a kind of effect that they're going to give you. So within the collection that we've got here for you on the show today, the 6 that you're getting in here are jade green, pink lace, rose satin in there, and you also got in there the blush, the bronze, and the amethyst. Now you can go for as well individually. The red garnet is available to you individually, as is the platinum. So pop yourself across to the website and you'll be able to see all of the colours right there. They're individually those two as well. So really, really great price there. craftscompanion.co.uk.com or .eu if you want to pop across there and see those. I need to just tell you again as well about the metallic markers. Very, very busy on our metallic markers, as we knew they would be. Do you know what will happen as well as we go through this show? Craig will demonstrate the ink pads, they'll get really busy. Then he'll move on to the metallic markers, they'll get busy. So maybe get yourself ahead, get your orders in, grab what you want, then sit back, relax and watch the show. In here you've got your rare minerals, 6 in each one of these. You've got your rare minerals, you've got your precious metals in here, and you've got the antique elements. Now this is the one with the very special drying agent, so I'm sure Craig will tell all about that as we go through this. You're getting 3 here, but you're paying for 2, which is fantastic. Please keep getting your pictures into us as well. We love seeing them. studio@craftscompanion.co.uk. Right, how are you getting on over there, Craig?
Right, let's finish this one off. So I've done the sentiment and I've just matted and layered that onto a bit of white. Usually you find that what you're doing is you're colouring white and then matting and layering it onto black, but we're doing the opposite this time. So then what I'm just going to do is just to add just that wee bit extra, I'm bringing in the stencil. Now you can go over the top with stencil paste or anything like that, but what I'm just doing is I'm now going over to the bronze, so still the metallic pigment ink pad, but this time it's just the bronze. And now you could use your temp adhesive spray, your sticking spray, just to hold that in place if you want. But because I'm wanting kind of a bit of a rustic look, I'm not too concerned if any of the stencil moves out the way. It's just to add just that wee bit extra to the back. So can you see just kind of in this corner so far, see just there, it's just picking up some of those different designs from the background. So if we go on maybe on this side a wee bit more heavy-handed, and that's the good thing with them as well, you can go as intense as you want or as subtle as you want just by adding more colour and layering it up. So let's just do this bit just here, and then there we go, you can see it better on that side just there, just where it's picking up some extra detail. So of course you can absolutely still do your stenciling through them as well. So let's just move that to the side. I'm going to just trim this one down to fit the card blank that I've got. So I've got my card blank and I've got a piece of white card. This is going to be my matting layer. So this is 4 3/4. So let's bring this down to 4 1/2. And then this way is 6 3/4. So let's bring that down to 6 1/2. And then that will give me my perfect matting and layering. Let's just bring in my pokey tool. If we have got it to hand, have we got it?
But they're back in stock, you know, Craig.
Are they back in
those
stock?
pokey tools, yeah, if you need them, they are back in.
Let's,
might be coming up on Sunday, in Second Chance Sunday, so do go check there.
Rightio. So what I'm just going to do is peel the backing off, just like that. Let's take these excess bits off. We're just going to layer it up, and then that is going to be a different way of creating a card using the colours, some of the colours that we've got within the ink pads. So if you've even got some of our other colours, our water reactive ones or that, so you could kind of do exactly the same that we've done, but with the water colour ink pads, and then you'll be able to see the difference, how different it looks, you know, with the colours you use from the water reactive to the colours that you use from these metallic ones. And although that you're doing the same design, it's just going to look completely different because you are then using the metallic ones. So
Craig, I'm afraid you're going to have to really speed through this because the ink pads have sold out.
No way.
They've gone, yeah, it's one of those situations where we think we've got enough and then everyone checks out at the same time and boom, they have gone.
Well,
how many?
The next hour and a half's going to be fun, isn't it?
How many of your demonstrations over the next hour and a half were incorporating the ink pads? Just so we can have a little bit of a giggle.
I don't know, about 1, 2, 3, like another 4 out of 5. Let's see if let's see what we can do with the ink pads and pens.
Should we give you a little bit of a moment then, maybe just to sort of reassess your life choices and see what we're going to do for the next hour and a half and how that goes. If you've got the ink pads, you'll need the ink pad technique kit though, of course, still. Let me take you through the ink pad technique kit that you've got available here. So this one here is your forest vines, as you can see. You're also going to get in here some stamps. So you're going to get the little things. It's the little things in life. You're also going to get another one that says the best antiques are old friends. You've seen Craig using that one there just a minute ago. You're also going to get, I'm giving you forest vines twice. I can't give you forest vines twice. That belongs over there. You're going to get the traditional trellis. Now remember, these stencils, such great qualities, you can run these through your machine as embossing folders if you wish as well. You're also going to get the Spring is in the Air, which is that lovely stamp, there, with the schmetterlings, and you're going to get also our Regency Swirls embossing folder as well. Right, it's popping off over on Facebook, Derek. What's going on over on YouTube?
Well, we've got people watching from everywhere, haven't we?
Really? Yeah, we're very international here.
I love the fact that someone comes from a place called Spanaway.
Spanaway?
Spanaway, it's in Washington.
Wow.
That sounds brilliant, doesn't it? I want to go and visit Spanaway.
Get Spannered in Spanaway.
Joanne says, loving these inks. I need them, order going in. I hope you did it in time, Joanne. She says it's raining in Bolton. Because you know what? We're the right size. There's a big line of, it's not mountains, it's just, they call them the Pennines. They're like big hills in the middle between where we are right now in the northeast and the northwest. And the northwest tends to get the rain. Where are you moving to again?
Man, I'm going to the northwest, yeah.
Right, one of the wettest cities in the UK.
Yeah. Do you know what though? It doesn't get any more rain. I mean, I know you guys are really loving this conversation, but we don't get any more rain in Manchester. It just rains consistently, and it's that light rain that gets you wet. You know, that fine rain that gets you wet, and it does that all the time.
That's true. We can't complain about any of that though, because as Craig says, north of the border, that's where you really see rain.
Wetter than an otter's pocket up there.
Cats
it really is.
And dogs.
It does. Sonia's changed her Facebook picture, and now I didn't recognise it. Sorry, she's saying, she's talking about the metallic ink pads. You can't get them, I'm afraid, because they've sold out. We'll do our best to get them in stock. The two individual ones still available. So the pigment, the red garnet and the platinum are still available. The collection, however, has sold out and gone. You may still be able to get some of those that were in the collection individually as well, because they're all available, of course, individually on the website. So do check the websites for the individuals. You could maybe pick and choose and make your own bundle up there as well. Sandra's saying that her husband was sat next to her when I wrongly accused her of talking about my Speedos, so it was getting a bit embarrassing. People are not very happy that it's sold out. Jan is in Italy. She's making soup on the terrace. Soup on the terrace, darling.
Oh. Is she in the right part of Italy to make you soup, though?
She is, actually. So we've been chatting about it. I might meet Jan for a coffee on Sunday, potentially, because she lives in Ravenna. I'm just not sure if I can get far enough around the coast in a day. So we're going to see how we get them. Maybe I'll meet Jan for a limoncello.
Halfway round, she can bring you a bowl of soup in a Tupperware.
Fantastic.
Yes. Other plastic boxes are available.
31 degrees, so no need to reheat it as well.
Exactly. Just leave it out for a second.
Depends what it is, though. I mean, some soup travels better than others, I'm sure.
There's a conversation. Favourite soups. Yay!
Let us know, Jan, what soup you're making.
Yeah, somewhere you don't need soup is Perth in Western Australia. I'd imagine that's probably not soup weather right now, is it? I wouldn't imagine so. Too hot.
It might be too hot still, yeah. It's about 20, 23 there at the moment, I think.
Yeah,
that's winter for them.
That's salad. That's salad
Absolutely.
weather, isn't it?
I met a guy the other day. I went for producer Laura that works here. We went.
Craig's wondering where this is going. It wasn't Craig.
I went out with producer Laura for some food. She's got a great food blog, so she gets invited today. She took me along, and we got chatting to a guy that had never tried salad in his life. Every time he'd had salad in something, he'd removed it. And I said, what if you get 33 years in and you try salad and it blows your mind and you've never had salad?
I know.
He said, I just can't see it doing that.
We know someone else like that.
Who?
In the gallery.
Yeah. Oh yes, Director Daniel.
Director Daniel.
He's a bit of a salad dodger as well, isn't he?
Completely. Anything green, in fact.
Anything green. Right. I knew this was going to be trouble, you know. I knew this was going to be trouble, this idea.
Yeah, this is warming you up
it
to
really
how it's going to be.
It really is. We won't be together all that often, you'll be pleased to know. We'll get into way too much trouble. Maybe we can engineer it every once in a while, though, just for a laugh. Yeah. I reckon so. We're going to go back to the metallic markers. Always so busy, these. These are the deal that you wait for as well. The buy two, get one free. And these are great because, again, they are so versatile. Sarah always talks about some sort of drying agent in these that they won't let her know about, Craig. Apparently it's like a secret that they've kept from her. She doesn't know these.
Sorry, I was too busy sorting out the pens. What were you saying?
She says that basically the formulation is so top secret in these, Sarah always says, that she doesn't even know it. Only Leanne knows it. Something to do with a drying agent. She doesn't understand how it works. She just knows it's amazing.
That's right, yeah, that's true. I don't even know, none of us do, you're absolutely right enough. And I honestly quite believe that Sarah doesn't either, because it's part of, obviously, Leanne.
And she knows everything.
Family. Exactly. She knows everything.
About everything.
About everything.
That'll be like the KFC secret. Do you know
the KFC secret. I love that it's only taken us 40 minutes to get to food and soup. But yeah, I mean, I've eaten a lot of KFC trying to work it out and I haven't got there yet.
You just got to keep playing, haven't you?
Just got to keep ploughing through.
Keep playing.
It is. You've got to keep going.
Sprinkle of this, sprinkle of that, and eventually you'll get there.
You will get there. Right, over to you, Craig.
Rightio. So what we're going to do is I spy from the screen. We still have the single red garnet ink pad. Is that right?
We do indeed. Yeah.
We do, which is great because I was going to be using it in this one, so we can go with that one. So what we're going to do is let's bring in a bit of black cardstock. So we're going to use the pens. So before I quickly go into this demo, is it worthwhile just doing a wee bit of colouring just to show you what it can look like? I've got a stamped rose all ready to go. Can I quickly just show that one?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, let's go for it. So what I'm just doing is I'm just taking this is the vintage satin. So this is just a rose that I have, a Crafter's Companion rose that I had in my collection. And all that I just done is I just heat embossed it. So you've got that nice outside line. So then what you can just do is just simply just colour away with it. So let's bring the pen. So you've got your bit of a brush nib on one end, just there. And then you've got a nice finer, it's a nice fine bullet tip, a small bullet tip on that end. So then it's literally just the case of you can colour. Now it will coat some of the detail, but what that'll give you is then it'll still give you that detail, but it will look like it's been embossed. So all that I'm just going to do, I'll just colour just a couple of these petals just to show you. So this is if you are wondering, because I know I'll get a couple of questions afterwards saying, where was that rose from? If you happen to get our large 8x8 stamps a while back, this was one of the rose that was in there. I think it was the Rose Peony set. So that's where this one came from for those that are wondering. So what I'm just going to do, so I'm just keeping within the lines or the detail lines of the outside. And then, so if I start to look at that, absolutely incredible. You've got all that metallic effect within the middle. So like I say, I've kept within the lines here, but with all the detail lines of the rose, I've gone over the top, and it's still, you can still see that detail, but what it looks like is it's like it's been heat embossed with that same colour. So let's just do another one. I just want to show you, you know, what they are like. They're so easy to colour with, and what I am away to do in a moment is show you something else that you could do. What I mean by just having a play, doing things that you maybe wouldn't have thought that you could do. So if I just, let's even just bring in just the finer end, just so that you can see just the same. You can get into all that fine detail like you would think, but it gives you all that incredible metallic look. So if I then just pop that one up, so you can see that one's just drying just there. But look at that, so I'm just trying to tip that just so you can see. And then if I do just bring in this full one that I've just done here, straight away. If I just leave that flat, even then you've got that right metallic glisten, but then if I tip that forward, and then all that I've done, when I do my stamping and colouring, you know, when it's on white card, I always go round with a light grey, but on this one I just went round with the, which was the green citrine. I just went round the edge. But look at that effect on black. Absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous on that one. Anyway, so I just want to show you kind of obviously the look that they give you. So let's bring in the vintage satin again. We will bring in the citrine. Let's bring in the pink quartz and the amethyst. So we'll bring in the amethyst. No, let's change that. Let's go for the topaz blue. So what I'm going to do is let's get the brush nib and then just my glass mat, and I'm just going to go over the top. So let's bring in these ones in. So again,
great that you can lay these down and don't necessarily think about using a pen in this way, do you?
You don't know, no. Maybe some of the team have done this before. I hadn't seen it, and I just thought, I wonder what it would be like if I could actually just layer it down. So,
well, that could win the Turner Prize. Is that the technique? That could win the Turner Prize.
Look at that. There we go. We're just going to leave it like that.
You can see that in the Tate. It's called Glass Mat by Craig Laird. See,
I can't lift this up because of the camera angles, but if that was to go into a museum or that, I'd at least say £6-7 for that.
At least £6 or £7.
At least £7.
Maybe 14. Maybe the cost of the 14, glass mat.
Maybe a wee bit more. So then all that I'm just going to do is just spritz it straight. Look at that. Can you see? That's very like graffiti effect.
Oh, what would your tag be, Craig? Matte and layer.
Yeah. I don't know, the 3D or something. I don't know.
3D.
Because I like my foam pads. Again, black cardstock. So then all that I'm just going to do is just pick up. So let's just show you that first one. So if I then, so obviously I know it's still wet, but we're going to dry it. So then I'm just going to pick up any of that excess colour. So this is what I mean by the other day. I was just sitting and I just thought, right, what other things could I do? And I just thought, let's try it this way. I'm just going to take a wee bit of that excess off, only because...
If you were just colouring with these and you were, would you colour images with these in
Absolutely.
the sort of standard way, Craig? If you were stamping these up to colour with, what cardstock would you use for these?
I would, well, for
just for basic colouring.
Pens,
yeah.
Well, obviously you could use your smooth white cardstock because you're still going to get that intense metallic look on your white card. But as we say, that it looks awesome on black card. Now, do you know what I'm going to do? Just shortly, carefully, I'm going to hand this over to Joe and Derek just so that they can vouch for me how awesome that looks up close, because it's not really picking it up on the camera. So if Joe just takes that one, it's very much a marble effect. You've got those marble tones just coming all the way through, and I just want them to just vouch for me. Can you see what I mean by the effects?
Oh yeah, it's quite muted, isn't it? But
It is.
I really love it. It's a little bit, do you know what it's like? It's a bit like a sort of inky tie-dye almost going on, a very subtle inky tie-dye. But I love you've still got the mica in there, so you're still getting that shimmer there. It's
gorgeous,
beautiful.
isn't it?
That's
really lovely.
So yeah, it might
Do you
be
want it back?
I do actually. I need that back.
Got to get my steps in today, aren't I?
So all that I'm just, again, you could just use a spritz tool, pick up a bit extra ink and do another layer and another bit of cardstock. But it just shows you that, yeah, it's great for colouring. You still get that intensity in that. But then why not just do a bit of ink in when you do your spritz tool? So that is that one ready. So let's bring in our card blank. Then what I'm going to do, let's bring in, so we've just got our white smooth cardstock for this one. Let's bring in our stamping platform, and then I'm just bringing in our floral sentiment. This one's the friend for this one, and let's bring in our medium stamping platform. So let's move that one out of the way. So then what I'm going to do in a moment, I'm going to stamp this with the red garnet, and I'm doing it onto the white, so you'll see what it looks like on white. And then once again, I'm going to go over the top with clear embossing powder. Because it's a pigment, it means that it's going to stick. It's kind of like it stays a bit sticky, and it just lets all your powder stick to it. Let's bring in our mat again, just to get that nice, crisp, clean stamp. So let's pop.
It's carrot and coriander soup with loads of chilli, just so you know. Just so
I do like carrot and coriander.
Wondering what Jan was making in Ravello. Carrot and coriander with lots of chilli. I don't really like coriander, but...
Do you not?
I
What's it
maybe
Americans call it? Cilantro.
cilantro.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love all the
I
names
do
you
as
get.
well.
What's the other one? Aubergine is
Eggplant.
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 Eggplant. Absolutely. Yeah.
You can't say it without it and try to do an American accent.
No.
Not that I'll do an
Trying to do
accent
an
because I'm
American
bad
accent,
at
Craig.
accents.
What you say?
but-
You saying my American accent isn't very good?
No, I'm just saying that you can't say
okay.
an American word without trying to say it in an American accent.
No, absolutely. Like y'all.
Y'all. So I've just stamped that with the red garnet, and then once again, let's just bring in our clear embossing powder. So that will give us kind of that resist effect once it's been melted. However, you're still going to get all that colour coming through. So that's all on top just nicely. So
Snooze
let's
you lose.
put-
Sonia's just got these pens in the mail, so she's very, very happy about that. Sonia changed her picture on Facebook, and I didn't recognise her for the first sort of 45 minutes of the show. I know, I didn't realise who it was. Sonia, I love your new picture. Fresh coriander apparently tastes like washing up liquid. But do you know it's genetic, the hatred of coriander is
it?
genetic. Some people don't taste it like the rest of us taste it. Because something like 20% of the population, it tastes soapy to, myself included.
Soapy.
Soapy, yeah, it tastes like soap, like liquid soap. That's the way it tastes.
And it doesn't taste a thing
wow.
like that.
What does it actually taste like?
I don't know, it's difficult. Well, it's like coriander.
That really helps.
I know, it's a really difficult way to describe a taste, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's
I
like
just find it's
earthy,
just like a herb.
earthy and fresh. And
Right.
actually, you know, we were talking about soup weather and whether it is soup weather in Australia.
Yeah.
Lorraine says, yeah, absolutely, it is soup weather because it's only 4 degrees tonight in Australia. Where are we time-wise to Australia?
Right, Australia, Perth, I think is so. They're
Shall I
9
check?
hours. They're 9 hours ahead in Melbourne, so I'd imagine they're probably 7 or 8 hours ahead. So it's the after. It's
it's the
late
evening.
It's evening, early evening. Yeah.
And only 4 degrees.
4 degrees
in Australia.
Yeah, that's bonkers.
Who'd
isn't
have
it?
thought?
10 to 7 in the evening. Oh, is it 10 to 7 in the evening?
You should know, you've been,
7
have you
hours.
not?
Yeah, but the problem is, so because they're on the opposite side of the world, so it's 11 hours. When I go to Melbourne in the winter, it's 11 hours. But because of the way daylight saving works, rather than us both moving in the same direction, our clocks move back together. In our winter, our summer, it's a 9 hour gap, and then in our winter, it's an 11 hour gap. The clocks move away and towards each other. It's very confusing.
Very confusing.
When you went, did you not spend Christmas Day on the plane?
I spent the whole of Christmas Day on the plane.
Did you?
Yeah. Air stewards and stewardesses had Christmas hats on. I had a full Christmas dinner in the air, including a mince pie and Brussels sprout. Whole plane full of people eating Brussels
Oh
sprouts.
no, could you imagine that when they opened the door to
I
the
didn't
plane?
need to. I didn't need to imagine it, Craig. I lived it for 24 hours.
All these pumps coming out the door at once.
And can you taste Brussels sprouts?
Yes. Yeah, I can taste Brussels sprouts.
Okay, so what do they taste like to you?
I don't have some sort of like taste impediment. It's just coriander. They taste like little cabbages. Do you know though? We're getting really off track here, but it's fine. Do you know sprouts? You know when you were younger, sprouts tasted disgusting.
Yes.
It's because they are much sweeter now. The way that they've been bred means they don't have that intense sprouty flavour anymore, and that's why they taste better. Yes, it's all the butter and the bacon, but it's actually the fact that they do taste less pungent now.
What do you mean, when you were younger, they still taste awful?
No, see,
I think they taste better now.
The secret is you have to chop them into lots of little. You have to shred them.
Right.
That's the way to make them
Shred them and
taste.
put them in the bin.
Throw red wine on them and some fruit at the same time. Fry it all together. Bingo.
There you are.
That's the way to make a sprout.
That's so sounds like
Cheer
a
up.
fruit cocktail in my house.
Yeah. Sprouts in July. Bit early,
Sprouts
isn't
in
it?
July. It's a bit early. Asparagus is good this time of year. Though. Anyway, we
So-
get sidetracked about the food here. We really are. How
what
are you
I've
getting
just
on there?
done-
Save us.
Well,
Craig,
Back
save
to
us.
the markers. What we've just done on this one. So I just heat embossed the word friend and went over with clear embossing powder. And then all that I'm just doing is just within the detail. So within this friend one, it's like you've got some roses. So all that I've just done, I've not been neat or precise. Just where you've got some of those white areas, I've just gone in with the vintage satin as well as the green citrine. And then I've just coloured them in. So you can see as well as your embossing powder and you're getting all that pigment and the metallic just shining through, that just adds a wee bit extra to your actual layer. But then what I'm going to do, let's bring in the platinum as well as just our blending tool, and then let's just round the edge just to show that we can do a mixture of things with the ink pads. That's what I want to do as well. So I want to try and show you how you can start to incorporate different techniques within, you know, whether you're one project or card, whatever it is that you're intended on doing. So let's just
This is a great deal with these as well. Remember, you're only paying for 2 sets, and we send you 3 sets with these, which is an amazing deal. It's the one that you guys always wait for with these metallic markers, so it's great to be able to get them. And the other thing is, I mean, how often can you say you're going to be able to get a whole collection of something for $23.98 or $33.90? This is all of them. There are no other metallic markers in this range. You've got the whole collection for that price, which is fantastic. A lot of people talking about using these on glass as well, Craig. That's something that's very popular to do them, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah, you can do. You know, there's so much out there, especially on our YouTube and that. I know Leanne obviously had done, I think it was it a Colour Me Happy? She'd done at one point with these as well.
Yep.
Certainly done a show or two with them, where Leanne has obviously gone into the in-depth with everything, because obviously she is Spectrum Noir, you know, the queen of Spectrum Noir. So she went into all that detail of what you can do, and then I've just come along and just thought, I'm just going to sit and have a play, like I say, and see what else we can do. So all that I just done there with that background that I created, I just went around the edges as well with that same ink pad that we just used, which was the platinum as well, and that just edges that nicely. And it just means, because if you see as well, I've not done any matting and layering with this one, so that layer of ink around the side just kind of gives it a barrier. It just finishes off the edge of your card. And then now that I found my double-sided tape, I don't know if you see me in the last demo, I was starting to sweat because I only had my wet glue. I couldn't find my double-sided tape, and I thought, oh, can't do that. But we found it. We're all right, we're good to go. So straight on to our white card blank, which is 5x7. Let's bring in our sentiment that we've stamped and coloured. And this one we are going to pop onto a black layer.
Sally, not Sandra, Craig, wants to start a new topic, which is, apart from your passport, what is the one thing you must take on holiday? What's yours, Craig?
My... Oh, no. Apart from your passport.
What is the one thing you must take on holiday?
Money?
Yeah. I guess so. That's good. I mean, that's legit. I mean, it's your choice. I mean, I'm not going to tell you it's wrong.
Yeah.
I don't take money anymore. I only take my cards.
Oh, do
I don't
you?
take any cash anymore.
See, I do take obviously my card, but I still get that. I better take some money. I better take it, you know, just in case.
Oh, I think cash is so last year now.
And but
what
yeah,
about
see
cash?
here, like now, I never carry cash on me.
Yeah.
Here, it's all, I'll pay everything by card.
Yeah, I guess I think I use the booking app though most places.
But
I go.
you want to... Oh yeah, and you can tip the driver.
You can just
on
tip the
that,
driver
can't
on there now, yeah. And most I would always look it up online, just see that. But most international taxis take card now, which is nice.
But it feels good, doesn't it, to hand over?
To
If
have
somebody
something.
delivers something to you or takes you
Yeah.
somewhere, just to give them
Give them a
some
tip,
coins
yeah.
or a note or something. In some countries, you just pick out any note, don't you, and go,
Just
well,
give it.
that
There you go,
looks
that
right.
one.
As you
Anyway.
can see,
Oh, where were
moving
we?
on from taxis. There we go. So that is your finished card again. So just a different take as well, using the pens to actually do a bit of distressing on the background. We've coloured over the top of heat embossing and just something a wee bit different.
Fantastic. Right, very, very busy on those markers. Let me just remind you exactly what you are getting included in there. So you are getting all of these, which is fantastic. So you get a complete collection, which is absolutely brilliant. You got your precious metals, your antique elements, and your rare minerals as well. Let me recap some of the other stuff that's on the show for you just quickly with some pictures, because there's absolutely loads. Get yourself over to the website and shop ahead, because you'll find absolutely everything over there. £20 or $27. This is the Crafter's Companion Metallic Ink Pad Technique Collection. A couple of acrylic stamps, got embossing folders, got some stencils and a rubber stamp in there as well. We also have the metallic markers technique kit for you as well. This one here, you've got your rubber stamps in there, you've got layering stencil, acrylic stamp, you've also got your die cut in there too. Now, talking about versatility, incredibly versatile are the liquid inks, and the liquid inks are great because you get 30 mils in each. It's a lot of ink for the money. And in here, you are going to get your vintage metallics and your rich metallics there. $29.50 or $47. Now, we did want to do a free piece of these, but you guys have cleared us out of the next one. We only have very small quantities of this one available, $24.99 or $39.95 if you want to go for that one just there. We've got the stencils available for you on the show. These very, very busy on these, and no wonder, £10 to get 3 great quality stencils. You can also run them through as embossing folders as well if you wish. These are your acrylic everyday sentiments. You've got loads in here. You've got, 20 everyday sentiments within there for £35 or $40, which is a fantastic price to get all those. They're quite quirky too, which is brilliant. We've also got the 3D embossing folder 3-piece collection. These are great because they're 3 of your all-time favourites. You've got your Lily, you've got your one from the butterfly collection there, and you've got the Regency swirls in there too, £15 or $22 if you want to grab those. We also have the floral word stamps. So you just saw Craig using these floral word stamps, $29.94 or $41.94 if you want to get hold of those ones. All the details of everything pretty much in the show. There is even more across on the website, so make sure you pop yourself over there. Don't forget as well, you can always use your Club Inspired discount in conjunction with the great deals that we bring you here at Crafters TV. Here actually is all the details of Club Inspire.
Welcome to Club Inspire, our free loyalty club. As a member of the club, you can save up to 20% every time you shop with us. For every £1 you spend, whether it's in one of our stores or on our website, you'll collect 1 loyalty point. The more points you have, the more benefits you'll receive. As a welcome present, we'll give you 20% discount with your very first order. Once you place your first order, you'll be given 250 points straight away, making you a bronze member. This will mean that you'll receive a 5% discount on all of your purchases until the end of the next calendar year, plus priority postage. 500 points takes you up to silver membership, where you'll get 10% discount plus free shipping when you spend over £20. When you get to 750 points, you'll become a gold member, which gets you a whopping 15% discount on every order, and we'll ship them to you completely free, no matter how big or small they are. Spend over £25 and we'll send them to you via our premium next day delivery courier service. When you reach 1500 points, you'll become a platinum member, giving you the same shipping benefits as a gold member, but with the added bonus of a massive 20% discount on all of your purchases. Now on top of that, you'll receive exclusive discounts, sneak peeks of brand new products, special offers and money-saving vouchers. You'll have access to an exclusive secret Facebook group to meet like-minded friends, to find out information first and to be inspired by all the Crafty makes. We'll send you a completely free quarterly Digimag direct into your inbox, giving you lots of hints, tips, inspiration, additional offers and some sneaky behind the scenes gossip from the team. So what are you waiting for? Become a member of our club today.
Lots of you talking about how you love to use these markers. Fabulous on grass, says Christine McCrow. Used to decorate my handmade jars. Loads of people chatting away over on Facebook as well. Robin agrees with me that she never has cash. Just says it's done, it's a thing of the past. And she says that she likes to take a first aid kit, things like Tylenol and Band-Aids. But what's your one have to take it on holiday item other than money and your passport?
Always got to be earplugs.
Earplugs?
Take off and landing, I'm not a fan of. So I always make sure I've got because I hate doing the whole pinching your nose and trying to,
My ears are knackered, so it wouldn't help me. I think mine would be a worldwide adapter. I've
always got the wrong one. You need one of those that does like every country.
But they do one now in the airport. It's about £30, but it's worth it. It's got, you plug it in, it's got 2 USB adapters, 2 USB inserts in the top and somewhere to plug in. And I've lost mine, so I'm going to get a new one. When
USB is all you need, isn't it?
Yeah, so a couple of USBs and you are good to go. Maybe, and one of those portable power banks as well. They would be my 2.
Yeah, definitely, because your phone always goes flat.
Yeah, you've got one of those, Craig.
I've thought of one. I always have to take paracetamol everywhere.
Oh, paracetamol?
Yeah, because... what was that?
We're riveting these days.
Yeah, just because I like to think I have a huge pain threshold, but when it comes to headaches, I am a wimp, and I have to make sure I've got paracetamol all the time.
Don't go anywhere without paracetamol.
No.
There you are. Johnny, what would yours be? Beer money.
Beer money.
Is that like separate money that Gemma doesn't know about? Like secret stash money?
That's always in that tiny little pocket, isn't it, in your jeans?
Yes.
The secret pocket.
The
And you must
secret
remember
pocket.
not, when they get sent to the wash, to empty
the secret pocket.
pocket.
Absolutely. If you do the washing for someone, always check the secret pocket. Daniel, what's your one must take on holiday item? Coca-Cola. You can get Coca-Cola anywhere, Daniel. I don't think you need to take it with you. Sorry? No. Oh, so Daniel loves Coca-Cola. It's his like go-to drink.
Tastes different.
He says it tastes different abroad. So what, you take your own Coca-Cola with you from the UK?
In the meantime, Denise and quite a few other people saying on where am I? YouTube this morning, saying
Where am I?
Poor Craig trying to colour and be good with the two naughty boys in the corner. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be allowed very often, is it?
Not at all. This will be the first and the last time.
And Craig, you are a star for carrying on like nothing's going on.
Yeah, absolutely you are. Jan says I have to take my iPad and my headphones to watch during the flight. It's a good one. Jan says also, Joe, you may need some cash. Not everywhere here accepts credit cards in Italy. So thanks for the top tip. I have got an emergency like £30 in my wallet that I have in there for months at a time that never gets used. So maybe I'll exchange that at the work. Yeah, it's always good to have some.
I like to have money that isn't spent and I just know that it is there.
You can spend it on what you want.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice. Absolutely lovely. Right, anyway, should we get back on track?
Headphones as well, just very quickly. You've got to have headphones on a plane because you never know who's going to be either side of you. You know, if it's a chatter and you think, oh no, please, I really, like a hairdresser.
I love that us two have got the audacity to talk negatively about chatters.
And all we do is chat.
All we do is chat. Right, let's take you through these liquid inks. You've got the vintage metallics here and you've also got the rich metallics. $29.50 to get you both of those. $47 if you're in the US. There is another one as well. There's one available individually. We would have loved to have included it for you, but we just don't have enough of it. It's this one here, which is the antique pearl. There's many less of that than the actual collection. If so, you want that one, be quick. If you want the collection, you've got a little bit longer to go with those as well. I think, am I right in saying, Craig, that the pots may be the most versatile out of all of the sort of different ways of getting these?
Absolutely, yeah. So whatever you do with your sparkle pens, of course you can do with the pots, but obviously the pots have a bigger circumference on the top, so you can obviously get your paintbrushes and all that in. But yeah, no, you can do the same, but it's obviously you get even more within each pot when it comes to the sparkle pot. So what we're going to do is we're going to be using the, so this set here is the Antiques Floral that we're going to be using. So we're going to do a bit of the blending in the background, and then we're going to do a bit of embossing. Now I get asked so many times, and Joe says it quite often, about using your stencils to emboss, and I'm going to be showing you that with the dotty one from Sarah's Crafty Fun, which is the
fantastic.
Go and Dotty. So just to show that the stencils, although they're quite thin, you can still get quite a nice embossing effect with them as well. So that's what we're going to do. So
wonderful.
I'm just going to bring in some cardstock, and then I'm just going to got some water. Now, this sort of technique, absolutely, please use your watercolor card. I ran out and I didn't have any left, but I had loads of our smooth cardstock. So I thought I'm going to give that a shot. Now, you will absolutely get the best result and the most effective result by using your watercolor card. But because I didn't have any handy, I just thought, all right, I'll make do with what I've got. So that's what I've done. So what I'm just going to do is let's use the rose gold from this set, and then we're going to take the antique pearl. So I'm not going to shake it, because can you see all that, there we go, pigment just sitting at the bottom, just there. So I don't want to shake it, I don't want that to bubble on the top. So what I'm just doing, I like to do is I just swirl it around, so that's all the pigment is just going round and round and just mixing together, instead of vigorously shaking it and it goes all bubbly and frothy at the top.
Do you know what we need, Craig? I need people at home to send me in your pictures. I've got less pictures than I normally do on a Friday, and it's making me sad, Craig. Please send me in. Let us know what you're up to. I'd love to see some of the things that you've coloured. Studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk. Studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk. I tell you what, if you send in lots of pictures in the last sort of 15-20 minutes, I'll talk about the cruise and I'll get Derek's input on the cruise. As long as you send in loads of pictures. There you are. It's a trade-off. You do something for me, I do something for you, okay?
Right, so let's take the colour that we are after. So I'm not wanting to land someone in it because I don't know who used them last. But the
Sarah, it was Sarah.
Put different lids on the different pots. So.
Yeah, she does that. She does that a lot. She owns a company though, so she get away with it.
Doesn't matter. You can get away with it, can't you?
Yeah.
So let's just take the vintage satin, which we're wanting this time. So there we go. So let's just take that off. I'm just going to give it just a wee bit of a wipe with water. And then what I'm just going to do is just over the top. So I'm just going to go straight down. So I'm just going to, as if you would do with your actual sparkle pens, and that's all that I'm just going to do right now. I'm just going to leave it. You can go a bit more intense at the top if you want, and you'll get more of that effect when you're using your watercolour card. But still, you're going to be able to see that if you don't have watercolour card, all you've got is our smooth, give it a shot and see what it looks like. So then let's take the antique pearl, and then all that we're just going to do is just dab just a wee bit in as well, and then I'm just going to go halfway down, and then I'm just going to pick that up with water. I'm just going to just blend all the way down. Now you could leave it like that. One of the samples I did at home, I left it like that because can you see that sort of for effect? It's like it's actually growing up. It's just starting to split along the lines, and that looks quite good. It's a bit like on a horizon. You've got the horizon. If I turn it that way, it's like a horizon. You've got the hills, you've got the trees and all that in the background.
Might go well with our like enchanted garden sort of
Yes.
stuff that I'm seeing. I can see a fairy in there easily.
Absolutely. Bring in one of your stencils with your black ink pads or that, then you can get that effect. So I've just gone straight over just with some water. I'm just going to blend just back the way, just to kind of just blend the two of them in. And then this is where you can go a bit more intense if you want, blend more of the colour out. So I'm just going to go all the way down, and I'm just going to just wee bit more water just in the middle there, just to blend that out. And now I'm just going to leave it like that. Now that's all that you need to do to create your own backgrounds. So let's bring in some of our heat tool. I do have one ready, but I just want to show you that obviously you can then just dry it. You can do this, as I keep saying, on your glass mat, but the reason I use this non-stick heat-proof mat is just so that I can just pull it out the way and then carry on in a moment. So I'm just going to just dry that off. Now it will start to curl, so when that happens you just turn it over and then heat from the other side, and that will start to flatten it out. Once you've got your adhesives down, then that will also flatten it out. So we can see now, you can see how it's starting to curl just as it's drying. And then we're just going to turn it over in a moment and dry from the other side.
Different way it dries, isn't it? Is there any difference between force drying it and drying it naturally? Will you get the same effect, Craig, or does it differ?
I will be completely honest with you. I don't really know what the difference would be, how it would look. If there is a difference between letting it dry naturally and heat drying it, I really do not know, and it's actually something that's worthwhile looking into, yourself looking into. I've never actually thought of that before, Joe. Maybe someone will know, maybe someone at home does.
Let me know in the comments
if you know, then yeah, let us know. So there we go. I'm just going to dry it off. Just dry it off a wee bit more if you had a wee bit more time. But then if I show you that, then you're still, doesn't matter how much water you add, how much that you make it subtle, you're still going to get all of that glimmer and shimmer just coming through. And just, there we go, we can hopefully just see that. Hopefully you can see it coming through. If I turn it that way. So you're getting all that effects coming through. So then there we go, there's even just one background, just two halves, and that's all. Really simple. But then, you know, you can go on and do different techniques. You know, you can do your spritzing effect. There we go, actually there's, let's do that. Just while it's still just a wee bit damp, all that I'm just going to do is just water. So let's just, I'm just spritzing it in my hand and go straight onto the card, or just spritz on to your hand and then just flick. And then what that's going to be, it's still going to give you a resist effect, a full bleaching effect. So let's just go right in there. And then I'm just going to dry my hand. I'm pleased to say
we've suddenly started getting loads of pictures at the promise of some cruise chat. Craig, so there you go. Maybe we'll be thinking of having a little chat about that at the end of the show, because Derek works for a different channel that sells cruises. So if anyone's going to know about a cruise, Derek's your man.
Absolutely, absolutely. We'll be all cruising one day. I know it might be a wee while yet, but hopefully. So the longer you leave it, the more obviously that. Clearly, I said something funny there, and I don't. I don't
No,
know what I
no,
said.
nothing to see here. Nothing to see here.
All right, okay, right. So the longer you leave it, the more obviously it's that resistant. You get the full bleach in. What I'm just going to go just over the top. I'm just going to dab it with a kitchen towel, and then I'm just going to pick it up. Now you see that it starts to bleach up. I would then even just leave that longer. I would actually even do it before I've dried it as much as I had, and that'll still pick up all that colour. So if I move that one to the side, let's bring this one in that I've already done and dried. Then what we're going to do is let's bring in our Gemini plate. So I'm going to use the Junior for this one. So we've got our base cutting plate. I will then need my embossing mat for this one. So we've got our clear cutting plate. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my stencil. Now, you know at home, I always like to leave one of my plates unused. So I never cut into it, just so it's nice and flat. That's why I like to do it for this technique that I'm away to do, but this will still work. So we've got our cutting plate. Let's pop our stencil on, and then we're just going to pop our card. So colour side down, like that. Then what I'm going to do is pop our embossing mat over the top. Then just to give it that wee bit extra oomph, let's just bring in our metal shim, and then we're just going to bring in our top cutting plate as well. So let's run that one through.
Apparently the cardstock, when it dries naturally, according to Ray, doesn't curl as much, Craig.
What one, sorry?
If you dry it naturally, the card doesn't curl.
I suppose actually, yeah, that makes sense.
What Ray
You're not
suggests.
getting that intense heat hitting down, bouncing off the card for it to cur. Yeah, there we go. It sounds like something new as well to do. Makes sense. So then what I'm just going to do is if I then pull these away, and then if we can see, I don't know if we can kind of see, can't really see on that one just there. What I'm going to do again, let's just marry that one up, because there we go. If I marry up the way it was, I never put my plastic shim in, did I? Didn't put that one in. So let's marry that one up again to where it was. So let's pop that one down like so. Then our rubber embossing mat, and then let's put our plastic shim in, and then we'll put our, there we go, that'll give that a wee bit more pressure. Let's run that through again. And then what you can do is you can leave it the way that it is. Then you could always do something that we've done last week with the wee sanding block, and you can take that layer of the dots off, or go over it with the ink that we're also going to do. So let's pull these ones aside. Here we go, this is much better. There we go. So if I bring this one in now,
I love that.
For you to see that you've got that effect in there. Any of your stencils that you've got that you can be embossing through, so you still get that embossed effect. So once again, let's just marry that up, because what I'm going to do is just come in with, I'm trying to think what colour will we go. What colours have we still got?
We've got platinum and we've got red garnet. The others are available individually. Most of them still available individually as well. So you can go to the web and get them individually if you want to. It's just that big bundle of 6 has sold out and gone, Craig.
Let's add a bit of the blue. What we got? Blue organza. So all that I'm just going to do now is I would just set that over the top, and then just ink over the top as well. So you can ink straight over the top without doing the embossing. But then what this does is that gives you that embossed dot. However, because you've embossed it, it gives you that bit of texture as well. And that's what I love about whether it's embossing folders, whether it's stencils, because what you need to think as well, you know, if you're maybe a bit partially sighted, you know, think about your cards and having that touchy-feely effect, you know, so you can be able to run your hands over it, touch it, all the different layers that you've got. And that's how stencils are a good way of doing that as well. Or just with your stencil pastes. So if we then just pick that one up,
oh, I love that, Craig.
Straight away, you can see how all that just then stands out more prominent just there. So then what we can just do, let's move all of that out of the way, and then we'll layer it up in a moment. I'm just going to bring in my stamping platform. I've just used one of my nesting dies, and I've just pre-cut a rectangle using the stitched edge. And then let's bring in our stamp, Don't Grow Up. We're going to use that one.
It's a trap, you know.
It is a trap. It's
Definitely
a trap.
is a trap. I'm not growing up. I've no plan on growing up anytime soon.
You're
No.
Peter Pan.
Yeah, kind of.
The boy that never grew up.
Yeah, I can't fly though. Could he fly?
No.
Could he fly, Peter Pan?
Oh, I thought you said, could you fly?
I definitely
No.
can't fly. I don't know if you haven't worked that out yet. I can't fly. Peter Pan can
Peter
fly, though, I
Pan
think.
can fly.
Evelyn says, oh, Derek and Joe, I can see you two are going to be a lot of fun. I don't think there's any plan for us really to be here at the same time, unfortunately. No. Maybe we could just, I could just pop in sometime if you're doing a show,
good.
Derek, and just, turn up.
That would be really good.
I have a tendency to do that. Sometimes where I'm not wanted as well, so.
You're always wanted.
Oh,
always wanted, Joe.
Thank you, Craig.
There we go. So then, there's our stamped image. So then what we could even just do if you want. Don't forget, you can even tint the edges. So just go around, pick up the colour. So this will give you an extra matte layer without actually doing a matte layer. So pick up that colour. So you don't just have to use your blending tools. So let's bring in a bit of black card. Let's bring in our guillotine again. So let's just see, I've got my card blank, which I think is 6x6. It is, so let's bring this down to 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. And then I think I'll need to trim this. So this can now go down to 5.5 by 5.5. And then we'll just layer that up. Bring in our tape.
It's a really quick and effective background, that one, isn't it, Craig?
It really is. So you could eliminate the background that we created with the actual inks, and you could just go straight on and just emboss your white cardstock, go over the colour with a bit of, or go over the top with a bit of colour, and then that would look nice, just a blue dotty or any colour white background. But then also do it onto your pattern papers as well. You don't just have to do it onto your white cards or black cards. But then again, go over the top with any of your embossing powders if you want.
So apparently Tinkerbell had pixie dust that made Robin, who are we talking
Who's
about?
Robin?
Peter? Who's Robin?
He was with Batman,
He was
wasn't
with
he?
Batman, not with Peter Pan. Tinkerbell had pixie dust to make Peter Pan fly, apparently. We've got some pixie powders somewhere from Creative Expressions. I wonder if we sprinkle a bit of those on and see what happens.
I wonder if that would work.
Not sure it will.
It's been a long time since I've seen the film.
I can't remember seeing. Was there? There's a couple of films. Was there Peter Pan, and was there also one about Hook? Oh, that's the one I'm thinking. Hook.
And they're a way to make the live action film of Peter Pan.
Are they?
Yeah, once all this coronavirus is settled and they can start making films. Although I think they have started making films, just
There's an audition, Joe, for you.
Peter
There's one,
Pan.
yeah.
I think that ship sailed.
Yeah.
Also, I'll audition for Annie while I'm there.
There we go. So we've just created our own background using the sparkle pots and then, or the metallic pots, and then all that we've just done is used embossing stencil. We've just used one of the inks, we've used the blue, and then we've just used one of the actual stamps as well. So there we go, nice, relatively quick depending on how detailed you want to do it.
Yeah, really busy now for those liquid inks. Easy to see why, because you're getting two of our most popular collections there for that price. You're getting the vintage metallics, which is this one here. It's going to give you the antique bronze, the aged copper, the tarnished silver, and the burnished copper as well. And then you also have the gold plate, the silver ingot, and also the ancient bronze as well, and the pewter in there too. Love pewter, lovely shade. There is a third collection. It's not in the bundle though. You will have to get it individually if you want it. It's the antique florals. It's this one here. It's got the antique pearl, the vintage satin, the green citrine, and the rose gold in that one as well. So if you want that, do grab it now. $24.99 for that one, or $39.95. Can we just go back to the original bundle that we had a moment ago with these two in? If you think about it, you're paying $24.99 for that one. It shows you how great the value is, doesn't it, in that? Because for what? An extra £4.50, and you're getting an extra one included. So really, you're paying for one, and then you're paying an extra $4.50 for the second one. It is really fantastic value, that one. Do not miss out on it. Remember, if you want to watch the shop at the same time, you can do that really easily over on our website, crafterscompanion.co.uk.com or .eu. Christine's saying, I've got to go out in a minute. Any chance we can do the cruise talk now? No, sorry, it's going to be at the end, Chrissy. You're going to have to watch this show back later and get involved now. That's harsh. I don't make the rules. I'm sorry. Right, I need to remind you of a few bits that are on the show that are proving very, very busy this afternoon. This one here is the heat-resistant acetate. 12 sheets of this. Fantastic. You can use it as a regular acetate. If you want to heat emboss on it or do any other heat-based techniques, then this will be brilliant for it. $3.99 or $5.99 if you want to get that one. The matte black cardstock is proving very, very busy. Easy to see why, because it's of course perfect to use with your metallic inks. It shows them off at the absolute best, I believe. $9.99 or $14.99 if you want to get that. You can, a lot of you I can see multi-ordering on that, 40 sheets for that price there. You can get 4 of those for £30 or $42 if you did want to do a buy more, save more, which is fantastic. Right, we've had some pictures in as well, which we love. Pictures means we'll trade it off some cruise talk at the end. Don't forget your download as well, www.crafterscompanion.co.uk/colour-me-happy. So make sure you pop along there. Right, let's have a look at some pictures that people have been sending in. Right, who's this one from? This is from Nicole. Love that there. Beautiful, beautiful. Embossed there and then highlighted in some of those lovely inks, which is brilliant. Right, we have got some more. It's really gorgeous, isn't it? It does look beautiful. Oh, this next one looks wonderful. Sarah Brown sent the next ones in here. These are some of our Annabelle Spencer. They're very young and funky fresh, those ones, Derek.
They're brilliant, aren't they?
Yeah, really, really gorgeous.
Really animated. Good fun.
This next one, this is our double-sided window dies. They'll be up on Sunday, on Second Chance Sunday, if you want to see those. John sent a picture of this one. Lovely to have some male crafters, Derek.
Yeah, definitely, and lots of them. I had hundreds and hundreds of messages yesterday on Facebook, and lots of them were from guys as well, who love their crafting. I completely understand why.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's getting very, very popular. I don't have any guys messaging me, unfortunately. Lynn Harvey sent the next one in for, oh, what a beautiful exploding box. They are fun, super fun, these.
That's brilliant, isn't it?
Really gorgeous. Nicole sent us this next one in as well. We don't recognise the it's stamped from this, but it is absolutely...
Bit nautical, like a nautical tattoo.
Yes, absolutely. It is, isn't it? I love the inky back. It also looks like a bit... It looks a bit sort of, I don't know, it looks a bit sort of saucy at the same time.
Oh, a bit devilish.
I've been very nautical. Do you know what I mean? It was the arrows on the anchor.
Yes, like it's a bit devilish and saucy.
It was, isn't it? I've been a very nautical boy. Right, we're going to go back to the markers. Let me share with you again what you're getting included in here, because you're getting all 3. It's very rarely we're able to bring you a full collection of something for that price that you can see on your screen. $23.98 is what you're going to pay for those. Remember, you're getting the precious metals, the antique elements, and you're getting the rare minerals as well, which is fantastic. Loads of you still chatting away on Facebook. What's going on over there on YouTube, Derek? Busy over there.
Oh, loads. Donna agrees with you that was it coriander you were talking about?
Yes.
That tastes like soap. Yeah, she agrees completely and utterly. Someone has said, "Where am I from?"
Where are you from?
I don't know. Where am I from?
Like geographically, as a child, where did you grow up? Where did we get you from?
I don't know. Someone has. It's Susan. She says, "I've heard his voice before, but I can't think where."
Well, where might we have seen you before?
Anywhere. I'm very available and very cheap.
Which is always good. It's not a bad thing. It's definitely not a bad thing. Shirley says she can't find the wheelie bag. How's she going to have a look on the site? When Joe said, Sarah, I'm always giving you a shout out. Right, anyway, enough. We digress. We should go back to Craig, get some more demonstrating in.
Right here, let's go for it. So we're going to go back to the metallic markers. What we're going to do is we're going to use the thanks stamp, and we're going to use it onto white card and just show you how the metallic markers look on white. So let's go straight in. So I've got my stamping platform all ready to go, and I've got my stamping mat and my white smooth cardstock. So let's just go straight over the top. Just like that. So we're just going to line it up. Doesn't need to be exact because I'm not stamping it for anything specific, but at least we're having your stamping platform. You've got the grids with it too. So let's just go over the top, and we're just going to give that good coverage. I'm just using our water. No, we're not. We're using our alcohol-proof ink pad for this one. Finesse, and it is the Noir Black. So let's go straight just over the top, and then let's just stamp that on. So let's just press, and then we're just going to press all that in. Now, I'm going to colour straight on, but earlier on when I showed you, you could actually do some scribbles onto your glass mat and then spritz it. You could also do some scribbles onto your glass mat and pick it up with a water brush or a paintbrush. You could be doing that. Let's actually, I wonder, I've got a water brush just here, haven't I? Is it filled with water? It is indeed, so let's give that a shot as well. So let's just pop all of that out the way, and then let's just start to colour a wee bit just with the pens that we've got. So my set that I've got are the rare minerals that we've got for these ones. So I've just used the thanks. So let's even just go for the green. So let's go for the citron green, or green citrine. So let's just go in. So you've got your brush end, and you've also got your, say bullet nib, it's a nice fine end. So there's your brush end on that one just there, and then on this side you've got your bullet end. It's a nice fine bullet end for this one there. So both actually enable you to get into all these small parts of your stamps. So we're just going to go in. So I'm just obviously going to have a look for what would be the greenery already, but the daffodils, not really much on this one. So let's just go all out. It kind of gives you that permission to actually go all rogue and colour what you want, but I'm just really want to just show you how they can look on your white cardstock. Very, very metallic effect. So I'm just going to just colour in some of these small bits, and then what I'm going to do is let's bring in our water brush in a moment. If, of course, I've just gone straight over with my ink pad, what you could do is if you use your either your clear embossing powder, I would say you could use your white or any colour that you've got, but of course if you go over it with your pen, it will colour it, but however it will still give you a raised effect, whereas you can see like this one, if I go over the whole lot, I'm then just covering up all that detail. But then give it a shot, see where you feel comfortable, what you feel comfortable doing. Let's just go back. There, so let's just pick some of these ones off, and then I'm just going to just pick up some of that colour just there. So I'm just then going to pull, and I'm just going to drag that in. So we're just dragging it in, and then you can obviously layer up with more colour so you can get a bit more in depth into some of the areas. Now what I'm doing is I've obviously used the alcohol proof ink, so you would then come along and use your waterproof ink pad. But then obviously that's because I didn't actually plan on using the water brush. But let's let you see, let's pretend that I'm using the waterproof ink pad, and you can just pick up the colour just with your water brush. So you don't need to go straight over the top with your pens.
So can you wash, you use the way that you use the jars to create a wash, could you just lay lots of colour down from your pen and create a wash if you wanted to, Craig? Like earlier on when I spritzed it, is that what you mean? Yeah, what background wash you did. You can get enough ink out of the pen to do that.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, go for it. Just give it a shot and see. You've got your glass mat or your non-stick mat, and then just give it a shot and just play. See what you can then obviously come up with. See what different techniques that you can do, because that's what I just done the other day. That's exactly what I done. I just I got up and went into my craft room, got the pens and all the products that we had on today's show, and I just thought, right, what can we do? Let's see what we can do. And that's how that technique earlier showed you with the spritzing. That's when I thought of that one. Like I say, it may have been done before, I hadn't seen it, but I thought let's give it a shot and see if it works, which it did. So we're just picking up, and then by doing it this way, whether it's a water brush or whether it is your paintbrush with water, you're then, because you're diluting it slightly, you're still seeing all that detail coming through. So let's just pick some of that up and some of it out. And then again, you know, I'm using the green, but then why not change the colour? Let's go for what we've got in this one just here. This
is great, Craig, because this configuration, of course, you're getting absolutely all of them, aren't you? Which is brilliant. Not often we're able to bring you a whole collection of something for or less than £24, less than $35. And considering the different amount of things you can do, they're great value, aren't they?
Oh, they really are. They really are, because you can do obviously your colouring, and because I know it keeps saying that they're obviously metallic, but they really are quite intense. If you do have other ones at home, if you were to put them side by side, colour two images, one with the set that you've already got, and then one with these ones, you are going to notice a big difference, and especially doing it onto black card. The darker the card, obviously that's where it's more effective with all that metallic pigment and that's in it. Now, although I didn't plan on using my water brush, hence why I used the alcohol ink pad, many people will ask, what is the difference? Why do you need to use one or the other? So actually, let's show you. So I've used the alcohol ink pad. Can you see, I'm going to bring this just a wee bit closer. It actually bleeds. Can you see in there that the outside, the edges, they're bleeding because I'm using the opposite ink pad that I shouldn't be using. So that just lets you know that that's the difference. So if you use your alcohol ink pad with anything to do with water, it will start to bleed. So that's how you want the waterproof ink pad. So just to let you see, when people ask, what is the difference? Is there one? And that's what it is.
Okie doke.
So I'm just finishing this, but it's just really to show you just the different ways that you can use them, colour them, and you can start to actually just pick out detail.
Lisa's saying Sarah is very marketing savvy. She says she realises that on US soil we can't resist craft supplies promoted by gentlemen with across the pond accents. Well played, Sarah, well played.
We've got people getting worried about how long you're going away for, Joe, as well, so we need to clarify how long. Not too long.
No, only a couple of days. I'm just going away. Well, how long am I going away for? I'm going away on Saturday. I'll be back on Tuesday, and then in August as well. I'm going away for 5 days in August.
So I'll just be here with you on Monday and Tuesday, and then you get Joe back again.
No, I'm sure you'll be seeing a lot more of Derek than that. And then
Saturday and Sunday as well next week.
You're on Saturday, Sunday next week, and the week after.
Off. Yes.
Yeah, I get days off now. You're
days
here.
Off. I know, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, it's revolutionary. I mean, I never really got any before.
Don't get too used to it.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
No, that's it. I'm having days off now. I'm quite happy about the fact that I get some days off.
We have to negotiate, Joe.
About what days we can have
about
off.
What days I'll allow you to take off.
Okay, wonderful. I look forward to having that conversation with you. If you wanted to, Craig, just a thought, it's a question, I can't remember who popped it over. Could you use the clear overlay to sort of paint these out with? Does that make sense?
Absolutely, you can indeed. So Joe, do you have a board or something to show? And then I'll just nip to the side and see if I can find a clear sparkle pen.
Yeah, you go for it.
And then we can do that as well.
Carol's saying, Derek, I saw you on Cruise TV a couple of weeks ago.
Did you? Don't tell anyone.
So Derek works on he moonlights with us here on Craft TV.
Yeah.
Also, you'll find him on a cruise shopping channel as well.
But I've been doing that for 10 years and this for 10 minutes.
Okay, wonderful. So just bear that in mind.
Yeah, so I know a lot more about cruises than crafting.
Right, okie doke. So you can teach me about cruises, I'll teach you about crafting, and we'll be good to go. Right, let's share with you some more pictures that have come in as well. This one here, who sent this one? Juju sent this one in. That's beautiful. Loving that background too. I love the way that the moon's been created with this one as well.
Really atmospheric, that, isn't it?
Jane sent this one in. I thought my director Daniel said Mame sent it in, which is a very famous film. It's not. It's Jane sent this one in. What is that? Is it the wrong way around?
Is that initials? Is that an E on its side?
Is that an eel at the bottom?
Yeah, so if you look left, turn your head to the left, it's an E made up of animals, isn't it?
It is, and it's also an eye at the top as well. I mean, an eye as in an all-seeing eye. It's very interesting. But it's hurting my neck, so can we move to the next one? Yeah. Julie's up next, sent this one in for us. Love that one. Florals. A lot of you using the metallics to do florals with, which is, I must admit, not necessarily how I'd originally considered using these, which is fantastic. So lovely to see you using those. But not just cruises, you sold lots of things on the telly, haven't you?
Oh, lots of things.
Where else have we?
Slimming pants.
Slimming pants.
Slimming pants.
What's the strangest shopping TV experience like selling something and it just being a nightmare? I've got a good one that springs to mind immediately.
Those things, and you don't see them so much now.
Shake weight.
Those machines where you put a piece of vegetable on that thing and then slide it along that.
Oh, a
thing,
mandolin.
And then lose a bit of your finger.
Oh, did you lose a bit of finger?
Oh, I've done that a few times.
Yeah. My best one was selling a pineapple corer for 15 minutes with no pineapples.
Ooh, interesting.
That was my favourite. And pouring egg white over a presenter's head was also wet meringue over a presenter's head.
Oh, did you go right when it's stiff enough?
When it's done and you hold it over and it wasn't stiff enough and it flopped out. Right, anyway, Craig's got his bits together. What's your funniest shopping TV moment thus far, Craig?
I can't. Oh, I do remember Mr. Andy Love. And I had, it was your pearl drops, your liquid pearl drops. And I thought there was a blockage in the end, so I squeezed it and it all shot out all over his shirt.
Oh.
Yes. Do you know something? That must be coming up for maybe about a year or so. So that no doubt that'll be coming up soon on.
Did it go like properly all over his shirt?
All over his new pink shirt, all over his shirt. Yeah.
And he's a bit precious as well, so he wouldn't have been happy about that.
So yes.
Did that make it to the Christmas tape? Because there's a Christmas tape on every channel of all the things that went wrong.
No, see, that is my aim to end up on one of them.
One year, the Christmas channel at Create and Craft, when I worked there in Idlewild, was like 40% me. I did a lot of whoopsies that year.
That's the good thing, you know. Even as a viewer myself, you want to see that things, you want to see the things that go wrong. Not that we want them to happen, but they do happen.
Tune in on Monday, Craig.
The thing is, as well, there's a lot less that can go wrong with crafting than other genres of shopping TV.
I'll tell you what will go wrong with me, and I just know this straight away. We have lots of stands and lots of displays on the desk here.
Everywhere.
I am like. But in a China shop. I have no idea why, but I will just knock everything over. So tune in on Monday.
Yes, do tune in, mate. A lot of people saying they've seen the meringue clip. It was very funny. I was meant to post it, wasn't I? It was put in the comments the other day. I'll go back and see if I can find it, see if I can post it. Right, what's next, Craig?
So what I'm doing is I'm going to do just what we talked about in a minute with the sparkle pen. So I'm leaving that one just at the side here, just so you can see. I'm not hiding it, I'm not getting rid of it, we're popping it there. But let's just restamp it, and we're doing it onto watercolour card because I'm obviously a way to use my sparkle pen. So let's just press that into place. So for this one, I am using our Noir Black or waterproof dye ink pad. So there we go, let's just press that into place. And then let's remove that one out the way. So then what I'm going to do is let's bring in, I've just got our clear sparkle pen. And we're going to use that. Now, of course, although we're using the metallic pens, which have got colour, nothing's stopping you from using some of your other coloured your other sparkle pens that are maybe like a very light colour, like pinks, blushes, tans, anything like that, and you can get a bit of enhancement to your colour. But let's just go with what we were doing. So let's go for the pink quartz, and let's go for let's use a bit of the blue. So we'll use the blue topaz. So what I'm going to do is let's just do what we've done a moment ago. Let's just pop some, and I don't know if maybe you caught what I was doing towards the end was I actually started to blend some colours together. So let's just use this as it is. So let's bring this one in. So I'm just going to, there we've got my pen's already activated. So I'm just going to pick up some of that colour, so you can see just there that I'm actually picking up that colour, and already it's pulling with sparkle. And then all that I'm going to do is just start to do what I was doing earlier, but with my sparkle pen, and we're just going to colour it all in. So you're getting all of that metallic coming through, but then what you're doing is you're getting all that intense sparkle as well. So you're getting the best of both worlds, which just looks awesome. It's bringing the two things that really make you go wow together.
Because I'm right in thinking, so sparkle pens, they've got a glitter in them, is that right? Microfine glitter. Yeah. But the Midas or the metallics, that's different, isn't it? Is it a natural pigment in the in the metallic markers.
Very fine, very fine. Even with the sparkle, you know, if you were to pop some sparkle on your hand and rub it together, you're not going to feel a texture. It's still really quite smooth, just like your ink pads. Yeah, so it's not as if it's like a thick or coarse glitter, so to speak. It's so fine underneath, and you just get that sparkle just glimmering through. So by doing it this way as well, then you can still see all that detail from the flower. So let's bring in some of that. Let's just bring in just a wee bit of pink, so you can change it. So we're now going to the deep purple, so let's just even go into that one there. So although you're getting, 6 colours in each pack, just have a look. So there already we've made purple by mixing the blue and the pink together, and you can intensify that, make it lighter, adding extra colours. We'll carry on, but I'm just wanting to, so hopefully there straight away you're getting that sparkle, you're getting that metallic coming through as well. So then let's just carry on again, so we can just keep on mixing them, really intensify it with some blues, or lighten it down with your pinks. You can add more in if you want, and then we're just going to go around. We're just going to just pick up the colour. Now I know obviously these are tulips, but you know what, let's just have a bit of fun, see what colours we can come up with. It's just about showing you different things that you can do with them. So let's just pick them up.
Craig, can I just ask you a quick question?
Of course you can.
Is there any kind of translucency in this ink as well? So for instance, if I started underneath with like some silver highlighting and then I went over with your blue or your purple as you're doing now, would you still see the silver through it? If you let it dry?
So are you thinking like an embossing powder, or?
Well, no, I was thinking if I had the metallic pen and the silver metallic pen and I went in there first, did some highlighting, then let it dry. If I put a colour over that,
right, I see what
will
you mean.
one go over the other, or will I see the silver? Will I see the silver through the blue, for instance?
So let's take, I know it's not silver, let's take the amethyst.
Okay.
So let's even just, actually tell you what, let's just go. So if I just say that we've just coloured over the top, just there. This is what it's all about as well, just playing as well.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
all the fun. So let's just leave that just for a wee second or two, and then what we can do is we'll come over with a couple of colours and then see how that looked. Even there, I don't know if can you see that, even in that section that I've just coloured just there. Look how striking that is. So let's just do a wee bit more, a quick bit more. Let's blend some of these colours just in, and we're just going to do this bit. So there we're going to change in the colours. You get to see all that detail coming through. If you heat emboss it, you'll get that area just to colour up to, and it'll stop the ink going further. So then let's just take, so then straight away, let's go over the top there. So you're starting to colour it in. So you can even start to pull some of that colour out. So we're just starting to pull it out just there. But then let's take a full-on colour.
Carol's Co on Facebook just said, if you go to YouTube and type in Joe Reynolds bloopers, that's a good fun way. Make sure you've got plenty of time. There's quite a lot of them apparently.
You'll be on a YouTube loop all night.
So that was just...
so is that sitting on top, Craig?
So that's sitting on top. You can start to see... Now, it's not obviously a full-on... What was it that we used? That amethyst, because the blue's sitting over on top. But you're still getting... I'm going to pull it that way. If I pull it back, you're still getting, no matter what layers that you do, you're getting that metallic coming all the way through. Yeah. So you can still layer it up. But then let's just even go between the two of them, and then even just blend them out on that one just there.
Lisa says, Craig, nothing in CC history beats Sarah's 3D boobs. I think the crafting world paused for 3 seconds in laughter. I don't know what that's about. Does anyone here know what that's about? Sarah's 3D boobs. She was... So she was giving her a cleavage using some shading, I think. Yeah, bit of chesticle contouring going on. Yeah, 3D boobage, as Johnny describes it, which is fantastic. I guess 3D's better than 2D.
Well,
right, Craig. What I'd like to do, Craig, it was an absolute pleasure spending some time with you.
Thank you very much.
It's been amazing going through all of these different ways, isn't it? What's the rest of your weekend looking like, Craig?
So later on, I am back with Joe. I don't know, Derek, are you back later on?
Maybe
with us?
We'll have a special Dynasty-esque guest appearance.
It might be banned.
So we're back then at 4 o'clock here in the UK, 11 AM Eastern time, 10 a.m. Central Time, 8 a.m. Pacific Time. I'm getting good for Craft House. Then tomorrow I am at home. I've got prep to do because on Sunday and Monday and Tuesday here in the UK, I will be at Create and Craft. So on Monday, I'm launching some new foil press goodies. Debbie's there today launching something that we're going to be showing you later on. In Craft House, I'll also be taking over from her at Create and Craft. So yeah, it's going to be a busy week. And then the Tuesday I leave, I come straight back here and I'm back here on Create and Craft TV over the next few days then. So it's going to be fun. So I hope you can join me wherever you are.
Oh, it certainly is going to be lots and lots of fun. It's a world launch, of course, coming up this evening on the Craft House. It's those brand new festive pop-up boxes, so you want to make sure you join us both for that. Well, Derek, it's been a pleasure.
It's been brilliant. I've loved it, and thank you for all the lovely
being
comments
the roof
as
to
well.
your amen this morning here.
It's been brilliant, isn't it?
In the Craft House. It's been absolutely fantastic, yeah.
And we haven't yet, remember, promise.
We did talk about
we
cruising,
haven't
didn't
talked
we?
about cruise.
We better just talk about it for a minute then. Yeah, so I think if you work on the boss and soften her up from your side.
I think she's softening anyway.
Do you? Well,
Yeah.
she mentioned it yesterday.
I can feel her.
Where
leaning.
might we go? What are the sort of most popular itineraries?
Well,
would we go from
I think if we're going to have to go from Miami, aren't we? Really,
Miami?
Realistically,
Can we go from Miami back here? Can we start in the US and end up in the UK? Is that a thing?
We could. We would have to start off with the UK crew,
Right.
Then sail out
Okay.
to the US,
Wonderful.
and then pick up our US friends, and then go off to the
What
Caribbean.
a great way. So we could do the UK customers could get on in the UK. We'd
Yep.
pop them off in New York or something. They
Yep.
could fly back. And we'd pick up our US
Or
customers.
they could come to the Caribbean with us. I mean, we
Right.
could be talking several weeks here. I mean, if we're going to do it,
Who's going to be here? Craig, are you all right to stay here and pick up and hold the fort here?
I just heard the word New York and I was like, oh, I'll go to New York.
No, I said, are you all right to stay here and hold the fort here while we go and do the cruise, is what I said.
I suppose someone would have to do it. If I get
Maybe-
to do it the next
listen,
time.
We could do an
why not?
OB live, an outside broadcast live from the cruise.
Exactly. You know, with everything going on lately, everything can be done from everywhere through one of these.
Yeah.
Yes.
So wherever we are, we can send
At
it
the
back to you.
buffet, doing creative cravings.
Yeah.
At the spa, doing the Craft House. I mean, it'd be amazing.
And Sarah can make fudge.
She can make fudge in the kitchens. We can do a cook along down there in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I can do some. People have been nagging me to do my stand-up comedy routine, so I could do
There you
that.
go.
What's your talent? Can you tap
They
dance
do
or
have
something?
smaller venues as well, don't they? You know what I mean?
They
the
do.
more select venues.
Yeah.
For
Sort
the-
of an
the
upturned
seven.
milk cart, a milk
Yeah.
crate. Yeah.
Yeah, a little
That's
corner
sort of
somewhere.
A little corner
And you're
somewhere.
wanting me to stay here?
Yeah, is that all
Miss
right?
out on all of that.
We're only joking. Maybe we'll get. I mean, it's a hypothetical thing anyway. But I think if we keep banging the drum loud enough, I'm sure it'll happen. There's a lot of guys popping off in the comments now.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm laying the groundwork.
Absolutely, you keep doing
That's
that.
what we did, because I picked it because I've been sitting in the background for the last couple of weeks, just listening to everything. So I heard the cruise chat bubbling up and thought, you know what? This is a real goer. It's just Sarah we need to work on, but I think actually, you know, collective bargaining.
Yes, I think if you put something out into the universe for long enough, it just happens.
Yeah.
It's like me working at Crafts Companion. I just wanted it for so long. Here I am. There we are.
There you go.
And the rest is history. Right, Derek. We may see you later. We may not. If we don't see you in the later
Yes.
show, we'll see you Monday.
Yes, see you
For
all
a
on Monday.
full day. You've got foil press with Sarah and
Yes.
then Monday makers with Debbie.
With Debbie, I can't wait. Please be there if you can be. Please be there.
Yes, please do indeed. This fun is not over. Yeah, of course it isn't. I just want to remind you about the metallic markers. Remember, it's a full collection of these that you're able to get your hands on, which is fantastic. So do not miss out on those. So you've got those $23.98 or $33.90 if you want to grab all of those. Don't forget also about the liquid inks. You've got the rich metallics in here, which is fantastic, and you've also got the vintage metallics. Now, $29.50 or $47 to get all of these, which is brilliant. So that's great because normally they'd be $24.95 each. So really great price to get them for that. Now, it's been a very, very busy show. It's been lovely to have you in. What about Australia? You'll have to fly over from Australia. Broadcasting from the trip seems to be a go. Bev says you can't leave Craig at home. We wouldn't dare dream. Although Sarah does say she could just come and help you out here, Craig, whilst we all go on the cruise. Who knows? We'll have to work it all out. Transatlantic would be great. Yes, Miami, says Robin, or Port Canaveral. I would also agree. We may need to get plenty of Baileys in for Debbie. We would. Debbie's got a secret Bailey's stash here in the studio, you know, just for case when we do, like, she doesn't really, but I'm starting that rumour. Right, anyway, it was great to have you all coming through Colour Me Happy. Not all over yet though, of course we're going to be in the craft vault. Seamless here in TV land. We had a lot of stuff on the table and we were like, oh, we need to move it. So we just got it all and just literally pushed it to the other end of the table. Right, yes, the craft vault. The craft vault is the place where I've dropped me notes now. Oh, what am I like? Here we are, I've got them. The craft vault is where you find some of the best bargains in every single show. So today's craft vault, oh, it's a good one. Up to 60% off in the craft vault today. Should we crack on and show you what is on the show? So first up, stamp and die we've got for you is pointed petal. Now this one is fantastic because what this does is you can stamp out the imagery, you can then use your die to cut it out. What you've also got as well is that stamen detail in the middle there. This is great to make up into big projects. You can use individual leaves. It looks wonderful on the top of something like your boxes as well. So don't miss out on that one. The next one we've got is some of our layering stamps for you, which is Fruit of the Vine is this one just here. These are great because what you can do is use different combinations of stamps to get you different looks and effects, which is fantastic. You've got a 60% saving there on this one. It's £5.19 or £7.98 if you want to get that one. Next up, you've got the floral tea cup. Who doesn't love a cup of tea? And in here, again, it's one of our layering stamps. So if you look on the back here, you layer it up in different portions using different colours to get a really lovely sort of great depth to that stamped image that you've got there. £3.99 or £3.18 if you are in the US. We have got sprigs and blossoms on the show for you as well. Some of our double-sided dies. Now, our double-sided dies are great because in one pass you are getting double the amount of cutting, which is fantastic. And then they layer up into these beautiful full projects you can see along the bottom of your screen here. So that one's great. £10.99 is a great price on that. It's a 45% saving for you. Up next, we've got party time. Lots of us, it's going to be party time soon for lots of us, I'm hoping. Lots of weddings taking place again now as well. I heard the other day you can have up to 30 people at a wedding here in the UK, which feels like progress. This is the kind of beautiful creations you're going to be able to make with that one, which is fantastic. We've also got some from the Poinsettia Perfection. We've got the Victoria Lantern for you. £5.99 or, sorry, £3.49 or £4.97. That's the kind of thing that it makes. So it makes a really lovely, it's got a lot of depth and dimension to it. You can definitely layer that up with things like your foam pads, which is fantastic. The next one we've got is a great die for you. This is the Relax Expression Sentiment die that we've got just here, which is fantastic. Great price on that, half off today, £2.49 or £4.47. And then next, finally, we've got one of our really lovely concept dies which allow you to create things using your own photographs as well. This one here is our Primrose Corner, and you'll see in there, this is the kind of thing that you can do. You can make really great designs with some of your photos, which is fantastic. £10 or $14 if you want to go for that one. Well, what a great start to the weekend it has been today. Really, really lovely being here. Great to have Derek on board and part of the team as well. Massive thanks to Craig. Massive thanks to all of you guys at home as well. Don't forget, today's not over. Not only have we got the Craft House coming your way a little later today, we also have that HSM preview happening from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. if you're on the East Coast. So don't miss out on that. Of course, if you're on the West Coast, you'll be looking at 11 a.m. Oh, I've got to get this right now, haven't I? Is it 11? Yeah, 11 a.m. Until 2 p.m. if you're on the East Coast. So make sure you join us lunch early evening today for that. Right, I'll see you back here in a few hours. Take care.